Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right. We have a bit of a different thread. We've been doing threads a little differently, and I found another pretty juicy one. This one is, what lies did your parents tell you that you believed, and how did you find out it was a lie? All right, let's get into it. The ice cream truck was just a truck that played music for kids in the neighborhood. Like, nope, they don't sell nothing. And I think what it was is the parents were just like, nah, man, you ain't spending money on the ice cream truck. So that truck doesn't sell anything. It just plays music for kids in the neighborhood. Like, my mother always said ladies didn't fart. I found out that was a lie when she farted in front of me. My 5-year-old brain almost exploded. It wasn't possible.
Bruh.
Oh my God. That is funny as hell. That I'd been so good I can have the weekend off school. Oh no. I thought it was just me and other good kids. Took far too long before I realized no one went to school on the weekends. Oh, that's so fucked up. You didn't understand the value of a day off. Like, your parents was just like, no. You get the weekend off because you're a good kid. You know? Not realizing everybody doesn't go to school on the weekends. Oh. Parents told the 6-year-old me that they were fighting monsters at night to keep me safe as I was asleep. Took 4 years to realize that they were just having very loud sex at night. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Oh man. Oh shit. Wow. Okay. Damn. That's scarring as a kid. My mom somehow kept up the facade of us being financially comfortable. Although my father wasted our money immensely, I always felt kind of rich until I found out that my mom sometimes went years without buying anything for herself, so my brother and I could grow up without having to worry about money at all. Oh, wow. Dang, man. Yeah, she made it look easy for you guys. Oh, man. Hey, yo, W to his parents, man. Dang. You know, there's some good parents out there. We were solid middle class. Actually, we were poor as fuck, and I got by using credit card after credit card. Oh, dang. Hey, man, it be like that sometimes, you know? Like just like the previous guy, you know? They make it look easy for the kids. My dad told me wolf spiders, common where I'm from. God damn.
Bruh.
Whew, and wolf spiders just being common, huh? Hunt in packs, so that's why they were called wolf spiders. So if I saw one and made him kill it, I had to clean the whole room to make sure that there was no den for the pack to live in. Yeah, years later, I remembered and Googled it and was like, wait a minute. Yeah, hey, that's a good way to, get a kid to clean the room. Like, hey, man, if you kill a spider in your room, then you got to clean up the whole room. Because if you don't, then there could be some lying in wait. And they're just like, that kid right there killed our buddy. So we're going to come get you. And they're like, he's like, oh shit, I better clean my whole room. I wanted to be a dentist growing up. My parents told me if I got a cavity, I could not become a dentist. I got one small minute cavity on an upper molar. I cried the entire time. When the dentist filled the tooth, he explained that all dentists have problems with their teeth and not to worry. Oh, man, that's so fucked up. It was just like, oh, well, if you want to be a dentist, you got to brush your teeth every single day. And if you get a cavity, well, too bad, you can't be a dentist. And he's like, oh shit. He goes to the dentist and they're like, oh, well, did you know little Johnny's got a small cavity on his back molar? And he's like, no, I can't have a cavity. Then that means that means I can't be a dentist. And the dentist is like, don't worry, little Johnny, you're all good. We all have cavities and stuff wrong with it. You can still be a dentist. He was just like, oh, thank God. All right. Let's see. My mom told me that my dog accidentally stomped on my hamster and felt really bad about it. I realized later that the dog murdered my hamster in cold blood at that time, though my mother just asked me what would make me feel better. Would getting a new one do it? That was all it took when I was 8 years old. Swiftly replaced and forgotten. Dang, man. Damn, why would you get another one if the dog brutally murdered the first one? Like, that's what you're practically doing. You're sending that little hamster to its death. Oh my God. That sucks. Poor little hamster got ripped to shreds. My dad said he knew I was lying because when I lied, my lips moved. So the next time I lied, I tried not to move my lips, and he knew I was lying. It only worked once, but boy, did I fall for that. Hey, yo, some of these parents be getting creative, man. They be getting creative as fuck. They're just like, hey, man, if you kill a spider, you got to clean your whole room or else the spider's going to get you. If you lie, then that means when you lie, you move your lips. Oh, man. Even the other one, like just to get them to brush their teeth. You can't be a dentist if you don't brush your teeth and you get a cavity. Like, hey, man, you parents out there, yeah, they be getting creative. When I was about 8 years old, I had my suspicion about the tooth fairy. So when I lost a tooth, I put it under my pillow like normal, but I didn't tell my parents. Needless to say, the tooth was still there the next morning. My mother was both disappointed and impressed. He was like, man, tooth fairy ain't real. I got this. I got something for you, tooth fairy. I got you. Oh man, I know how I found out the tooth fairy wasn't real. I felt the hand under the pillow, and I like opened my eyes just a little bit, and I could see my mom like right there, and then I closed my eyes and I just pretended like I didn't see. And then it was like 2 years after that, and then I told her, and then she was like, "What? You knew the tooth fairy wasn't real?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, yeah. I could feel your hand under my pillow." Oh. Here's how my mom ruined Santa for me. Oh, man.
Bruh.
I had just opened a box labeled "From Santa" on it. It was a PSP, and man, I was bursting with joy. My clumsy ass self accidentally dropped it on the carpet, and my mom goes, "Be careful, I paid good money for that." Oh no, it took me about 5 seconds to put 2 and 2 together. Oh man. Be like, hey, what do you mean? I paid Santa. That's what happened. I paid Santa, and then, oh man, I bet the backtracking was real on that one. Man, the backtracking was real on that one. Like, no, hold on. I paid Santa for the delivery fee. That's what happened. I didn't pay him for the PSP. I paid him for the delivery. Sometimes you got to do that. That's what happens. Santa's got to make his money somehow. It's how he's only able to work one day out of the year. Like, come on, man. Where to begin? First that comes to mind is that by washing your hands too much, they'd fall off.
Bruh.
Oh my God. Found that wasn't true relatively quick. I think my favorite, though, was that my grandmother always sat in front of the Dawn chair back against the wall because her father was part of the mafia. They had me believe in that one for longer than I care to admit. Okay. That my grandmother always sat in the Dawn chair back against the wall because her father was part of the mob. Oh, so I guess they were like, she sits there because she's the Dawn and she's part of the mafia. And he was just like, oh shit. He's probably telling all the kids at school like, yo man, my grandma's she's part of the mafia, man. They call her the Dawn, bro. And this kid out here getting gassed over his grandma being the Dawn and shit. They always told me a person who speaks a lie will grow a tail. I was 11 and a boy they knew had grown a tail, and my relatives would agree to this when I tried to confirm. One day when I was really struck in a situation I couldn't tell my parents, but rather have a tail, I lied and waited for the supernatural to happen. Just checked my butt, hasn't still sprouted. I'm telling you, man, Abe, they be coming up with some creative shit. They're like, well, if you lie, you're going to get a tail. And then he got stuck in a position where he had to lie, and he was like, oh, fuck, here it comes. I'm waiting for my tail, Jesus. That my dad literally had his head removed for some spine surgery. He said it was completely off his body and only connected with tubes. I was 14 and believed him 100%. Yo. That's crazy. Dad was just like, yeah, man, I had my whole head taken off my body and it was only connected by tubes, man. I had to get spine surgery. It's crazy out here, man. You got to be careful. When I was a little kid, I heard really bad. My parents didn't notice until they found out I was really good at reading lips. Oh. I'd also say it felt like there was two balls in my ears. After some visits at the doctor, he said I needed drains, operation for better hearing. Anyways, when I woke up from the narcosis after surgery, the doctor held up two dark bouncing balls with weird patterns. Look at what I found in your ears, he said. And I was absolutely amazed. I told everyone in kindergarten, and this went on for a year until right before school started, and my parents broke the truth to me. Turns out they had bought two bouncing balls, talked to the doctor, nurses, and everyone working with my case at the hospital, making me believe that there were in fact two balls in my ears, just like I had complained about earlier. Nobody had said anything to me about this a year while I had bragged to basically everyone, making a fool out of myself. Eventually, my parents had told me the truth before I had started at school. I wouldn't be that weird, crazy kid claiming that I had bouncy balls in my ears. In the beginning, I didn't believe them, but I learned to accept the fact that a year of my life had been a lie. Good prank, to be honest. 10 out of 10 would do the same to my kids. Damn, so he had like a hearing condition, and, I guess they had to put him to sleep to do an operation on his ears so he could hear again. And the parents were just like, here are two bouncy balls. When he wakes up, can you tell him that these were in his ears and that's why he couldn't hear? And he was freaking out like, what? There was bouncy balls in my ears? Holy shit. And he goes to school, and the parents are thinking like, he's probably not, he's probably going to keep this to himself. That boy went ballistic. He said, hey guys, guess what? I have bouncy balls in my ear, and that's why I couldn't hear anything. But now I can hear because the doctor got the bouncy balls out. And then the parents get a whiff of this, and they're like, oh, shit, what did we do? Like, oh, man, our kid is the weird kid now. Telling everybody that he had bouncy balls in his ears. God damn it. Yeah. And for a whole year, he was telling kids that shit. When I was very little, I had a pet parrot. When it died, my mom executed a scheme worthy of a Mission Impossible movie. She covered the bird cage with a dark cloth so that it supposedly would show our grief and respect for the dead bird. While she was doing that, she somehow managed to put another bird in the cage. I think she went out and bought it beforehand. The bird looked identical to the one we had, so when my mom shouted in surprise something like, oh my God, it's alive again, just look at that, I had no reason to question the fact that my bird reincarnated, always as a result, till the embarrassingly old age. I had been a big believer in reincarnation purely for this reason. Oh, man. Yeah, I think the word she's looking for is resurrection, not reincarnation, but that's okay. I mean, I give it to these parents sometimes. It's like, when an animal dies, and your kid is like super connected to the animal, whether it's a bird, it's a cat, it's a hamster, it's a hermit crab, whatever it is. When it dies, I mean, you do everything possible to extend, if you will. I'm doing air quotations for you audio listeners. You do stuff to extend the life of that animal, because you don't want to see your kids sad and upset, and they're, you know what I mean, like a lot of times in animals, like their first best friend, especially if they're an only kid. If they're an only child, oh man, it's even worse, because when you lose a pet, because now they have nobody to play with and their best friend died, and that's a bit traumatic within itself. So I totally understand, and how, like, they're like, look, the kid's not going to understand death and then getting a new one, because then they're just like, no, I want the old one. So you got to make the new one feel like the old one, without it being weird. But, then obviously kids are going to think like she did. Oh my God, resurrection is real. This is, oh my God, like when stuff dies, it could possibly come back to life and everything. And it's just like, ooh. And she said into an embarrassing old age. I don't know how old she was when she finally, came to the realization of like, oh shit, things don't come back to life. That would be kind of weird if she was like in her 20s. Hopefully not. Hopefully she was like 14, 15 when she realized that, but you never know. When I was like 5 or 6 in the mid 90s, there was an older kid that had spiked hair, and I thought it was the coolest. I told my mom, so I asked, how do you get your hair like that? And she told me, fall asleep with gum in your mouth. I did, and it didn't work. Oh, yo, that's fucked up. Why would she say that? The gum's gonna get stuck in your hair, and then you're gonna have to get your hair shaved. Oh, dude, that's so messed up. Oh. Let me see. My mother lied constantly. When I was 4, she told me that if you touched your belly button for too long, it will fall apart, because when you're born, they sew it with surgical thread and it's not that strong. Found out the truth by growing up. Facts. She also told me sharks were bigger than houses. So if I get swallowed by one, I could most likely be pooped out. Found out the truth by watching Jaws.
Bruh.
She was like, don't worry, they're like the size of houses, so if you get swallowed by one, as long as you don't get chewed up, you'll get pooped out and you'll be just fine. She also told me she was a virgin when I got married, or when she got married. Discovered she was 4 months pregnant with my oldest brother. Did the math when I was 12. Okay. He was like, come on, girl. What the fuck? He wasn't no virgin when you got married. Fuck out of here. She also lied to me and told me she was 2 years older than she really was. I threw her a surprise 50th for her 48th birthday. Oh, man. He was just like, happy 50th. And everybody's just like, wait, what? She ain't 50. What the fuck we talking about here? He said awkward. Hey, man. Your knowledge of sharks facts increased by watching Jaws. Comments are kind of crazy on that one. They're like, nigga, you didn't watch like Animal Planet or something? You watched Jaws and had to find out that sharks aren't that big? Like, come on, man. What are you doing here? After a long time of arguing, I finally let my parents sell my puppy, which probably had a mental disorder, but with the promise that we would visit him. The person we sold it to went to my dad's church so we could go there. I told my dad that I wanted to visit her and that my dad lied and told me that the old lady moved. I was angry at him. Around 3 years old, I told my dad about that and he told me the truth. My puppy ate rat poison and died. Oh, that's so sad. They told him that his puppy had to be sold because it had a mental disorder, but he was like, don't worry, we can go visit the puppy. And so, when he wanted to go visit, it was like, oh, well, sorry, we can't visit the puppy because the lady that bought him moved, and then years later found out that the dog ate rat poisoning and actually died, and actually didn't go with, they didn't sell him or nothing like that. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Oh, oh no. Yeah, that's what I told you though, man. It's like when an animal dies, you do anything and everything to extend that thing's life because, woo, that's detrimental. My father told me that he was smoking a special Turkish tobacco. I didn't know it was pot until my husband told me that it was. Damn, bro, she didn't know what weed was until she was 18. God damn. He was like, no, this is a special Turkish tobacco. It's very special, Don't smoke it though. It's very bad for you, okay? Only dad can do that. And she got married and was just like, he was like, babe, that's weed. That's not Turkish tobacco. And she's like, wait, what? Seriously? He was like, yeah. Yeah, that's what that is. She was like, God damn it. I was told that television started broadcasting at 6 p.m. and that there was only one channel. I didn't find out the truth until I was homesick from school one day and I caught my mom watching a soap opera. Oh, bruh. He was like, wait a minute. Dad said that the TV doesn't start till 6. How are you watching TV, Mom? She was like, oh, well, this is a pre-recorded episode. What do you mean? This was already shot. Like, this is not TV. No, like, this is VHS or some shit. Oh, man, y'all don't know nothing about that VHS. Goodness gracious. My dad has gold oval chain that says RMS Titanic on it. He told me, my older brother and older sister when we were younger, that the keychain is a family heirloom passed down from our great grandmother who was on the Titanic. He said she was actually the reason the ship went down. Yo! He was like, your grandma is the reason why the Titanic, sunk and all those people died. It was her fault. Oh my God. That she was sleeping in the with the captain of the ship, that he gave her the keychain as a gift. Well, the story goes that she was sleeping with the captain at the time. He should have been on duty, and that's why the ship hit the iceberg. We all believed this growing up and even remember telling friends of mine this story. It wasn't until college that my girlfriend, now wife, upon hearing this story, was examining the keychain, flipped it over, and saw Made in China 1990. Oh my God, bro. She was just like, nigga, this chain's fake. It ain't no from Titanic. Yo, grandma was probably not even on the fucking Titanic, man. She probably had no idea. I bet he felt so stupid, bro. Just all the years of telling that story of, yeah, man, did you know my grandma is the reason why the Titanic sank? Oh my God. That is funny as hell. Oh, I could just imagine homeboy just walking around talking about, yeah, man, like, oh, dude, the story of this chain is crazy, man. My grandma, she the reason why the Titanic sank. She was sleeping with the captain, man, and that's why it hit the iceberg. And then this was given to her by the captain. That motherfucker didn't make it. And then she passed it down generations, and his wife was just like, nigga, this says Made in China 1990. Fuck out of here. This ain't no family heirloom. This motherfucker bought it at the swap meet or something. Oh my God. That is funny as hell. Jesus. They told me they would always love me no matter what I decided to do in life as a job. Then when I changed religion and went into ministry, they stopped talking to me for a few years. Whoa, damn. Yeah, that's kind of mean. Dang. Some parents are just a little crazy. It's like, You don't have to agree with, your kids' choices, but at least love them. You know what I mean? Like, at least love them. Like, hey, I don't like what you're doing, but I love you regardless. If it's taking care of your bills, then all right, then, okay. That my parents' divorce wasn't my fault. Didn't take my father long to blame me and my brother for ruining his life, though. Oh, shit. Damn. Okay. Woo. Moving on from that one. God damn. God damn. My parents told me if I went to college, I would make a good living and never have to struggle financially. Pro tip: do not major in liberal arts. Yo, facts. Man, facts. I think a lot of people kind of got to learn that one. You can't go to college for just anything. Just having a degree. Degrees don't even hold weight anymore. You can sit there and be like, I got a master's degree. So what? Niggas who got master's degrees are applying for entry-level grocery store jobs. Because it just doesn't hold that weight anymore. Now, if it's a very, very specific field, maybe. Even then, it's a maybe. You would have to go to like a very high Ivy League school. And then even if you do go to an Ivy League school, you still got to know somebody that knows somebody just to get up in there. So it's like, it's still tough. So yeah, I feel you on that one. My older sister told me my mother was on a business trip when I was old enough to notice other kids had a mom and dad. I think I was 4 or 5. My dad allowed me to believe this rather than explain the concept of death. Oh, not mad about it. I probably wouldn't have understood the truth anyways. Oh, dang, that's so sad. Like, his mom died, but they told him, oh no, she's just on a business trip and she'll be back eventually. And his mom actually passed away. Dang. My parents convinced me at a young age that there were cameras in the house watching me and my brothers while they were away at work. We believed them because somehow they always knew when we gone into their room while they were gone. Turns out my stepdad just put a piece of clothing or pencil or something behind the door, so that way when we opened the door, it moved from where he left it. Being like 10, I never noticed until I got older. Felt like an idiot, eh? Oh man, I'm telling you, you gotta get creative with these kids, man, because long gone are the days where kids will just believe their parents. It is what it is. I was one of those kids that didn't believe my parents either. I ain't gonna lie to you. They had to play the tricks and the mind games to be like, hey, like, we're watching you at all times. If you do something bad, like your parents can see you. You gotta do it. My mom said that my biological father was killed by the mafia. Holy shit. While they were in bed together, and by the grace of God, she wasn't hit by the bullets. Real story, 15 years later, he unalived himself. Wow. Whew. Man. Okay. Oh. My mom always said, we can't have a dog, honey. You're allergic. Oh, shit.
Bruh.
I didn't find out until high school when one of my first girlfriends had 4 dogs. I thought I was allergic, but I really wanted to have sex. Was expecting to break out in hives as soon as we hit the bed, but nothing, not even a sneeze. My mom just really didn't want a dog. I still find it hard to forgive her. He was just like, you know what? The hives and breaking out, it's worth the coochie. I'm going to do it. And then he realized, man, I'm not allergic to dogs. What the fuck, Mom? Like, you just didn't want a dog. You could have just told me that. And she was like, no, I couldn't have. Your ass would have probably bought one on the sly or something like that, or found a dog out on the street. Made me take care of it. What are you talking about? I had to lie to your ass. Mom would tell me she always wants kids. Funny thing is she still says that, but her actions prove the plural false. All right. I guess she didn't want you, is what I'm getting out from that. I don't know. I don't know. My parents told me that every time I ate chocolate, my eyes became a darker shade of brown. I believed this until I was 8.
Bruh.
I guess that's one way to get a kid to stop eating chocolate. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. All right. My mom would lie so much that I thought that lying was normal way people communicate. It wasn't until I was 17ish and started working and dating and words started meaning things that I realized you aren't supposed to tell people what they want to hear in order to make the conversation shorter. Oh, okay. We're going to do 2 more. On our way from kindergarten, we drove by the fire station. As most kids, I wanted to be a firefighter when I grew up. So for some reason, I always wanted to know what they had for lunch. Anyways, my mother pretended there is a sign outside that said what the firefighters had to eat. And coincidentally, my mother always made what the station had that day. I felt awesome eating the food the firefighters had. This went on for a few years till I learned reading in the elementary school, I learned reading in elementary school. I still sometimes ask what's for lunch at the station when we drive by it nowadays. It's what we have that day, just as it always was. Oh, dang. So I guess she is like the one that makes the food for all the firefighters and stuff like that. And he's always had the food that they've had, and he just didn't know that. And hey, kind of wholesome. Yeah, that was very wholesome, man. We're going to do our last one. We found out a baby magpie in the front yard. No parents to be found. We felt bad for it. Also, the family cat was nearby, so we took it inside and took care of it. My incredibly creative 5-year-old self named it Emifer magpie, but I insisted it was pronounced Amifer. Okay. Mom would take it out front for a time every day to try to get it to fly. Well, one day I came home as normal and they told me he flew away. Needless to say, I was pretty devastated. I still like magpies to this day because of Amifer. I was re-encountering the story on Reddit a few months ago and asked my mom if he really did fly away. Nope. Oh. I wonder, did it just die or did the cat get it? I don't know. Apparently he was dead by the time I got to school. Okay, so it passed away. Yeah, they were trying to nurse the bird back to health so that way it could fly away and be happy or whatever, but it died. And the mom was just like, oh, we did it. Yeah, we nursed it back to health and it flew away. It was great, And he was like, oh, sweet. Okay, cool. But in reality, it died. Oh, man. Yep. That's going to be the end of that thread for me, though. I hope you guys enjoyed that thread. It was a little different. That one was a juicy thread, man. Hey, woo, you guys got some crazy parents out there, man. The creative shit parents do to get their kids to either stop doing something or to believe something or, just to make things easier, I guess. Just to make it easier and have them understand. It's hard out here to be a parent. I give you that, man. Jeez, you guys make it look easy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now that I'm older, I be telling my parents that sometimes. I'm like, man, you guys made it look easy, if I'm being honest with you. I ain't got no kids, but goodness gracious, I hope I can make it look easy too, because, man, a lot of times you don't really appreciate, all the shit that they do for you and the way they dress things up for you and stuff like that as a kid until you get older. And then you're like, that makes sense. I can see why, you fake resurrected, my dog or my bird, or, you said that they ran away, or, they went to a safe home or something like that, and in reality they died. You know what I mean? And then there's just some funny ones where it's just like, nah, the ice cream truck doesn't sell ice cream. It just blasts music for the neighborhood kids, or that one guy that was just like, yeah, this is a family heirloom from the Titanic and shit, like, and then there's funny ones like that where it's just like, come on, man. Or like grandma's in the mafia and she's the Don and shit like that. There's funny ones like that where I'm sure it's a lighthearted thing, or even the one where, the kid they didn't want to tell him that, he had like not a disease, but just kind of maybe a disorder. I'm not 100% sure, but it was just something wrong with his ears. And they were like, we don't want to tell him that he had something wrong with his ears. So, we're just going to say, hey man, there were just bouncy balls in your ears, but then he wouldn't go and tell everybody at school. So, hey man, shout out to the parents out there, man. Let me know in the comments, what has your parents ever told you a lie that you found out and was just like, what? Thought it was crazy? Let me know. All right. Let's hop into the announcements and then let's get into the juicy scenarios. Patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get on the Patreon, man. It's a beautiful thing over there. An exclusive episode every single Friday. Being able to send in your scenarios to the show, man. Thank you guys for all the support. You listeners are doing amazing over there on the Spotify. Thank you guys for supporting on YouTube as well. Keep subscribing over there if you want to help on the free 99 front. Please rate the podcast. 5 stars is preferable. And TikTok as well as Instagram. Follow us over there for the clips. TikTok is blowing up, baby. Man, my goodness. Hopefully by the time this episode comes out, we should have hit 5K and above. Our goal is 10K on TikTok. So, let's get to that goal, man. You guys are helping me crush that goal. I'm trying to stay as consistent with clips as possible. I have a lot of footage to go through. So, bear with your boy on that, but I'm doing my best to keep it up. Yeah, man, that's about it. Get on the Patreon. Keep downloading the show. Rate on listening platforms. Follow us on YouTube as well as TikTok and Instagram. And that's it. Without further ado, let's get on into the scenarios. All right. Would I be the asshole if I break up with my girlfriend over her weight? All right. Let's see. I, 28 male, am 6'5", 200 pounds, and go to the gym 3 times a week and go for jogs daily. I met my girlfriend, 24, at the gym about 2 years ago. She's smaller and was thin at the time. She was cute and funny, and we hit it off really well. Almost a year ago, we decided to move in together, and I noticed then she has gained a couple of pounds, and I didn't think anything of it. Ever since then, she has consistently put on more and more weight, easily 60 pounds now. Of course, she no longer works out either. What? I find her eating habits and appearance gross now. The thin girl I was so attracted to has been replaced by an insatiable eater. She eats bags of candy and wants fast food for every meal. The apartment we are renting lease is ending in April. She has been hinting at wanting to get married, but I'm thinking of cutting her off and the apartment free at the end of the lease. So my question is, would I be the asshole if I dump my girlfriend because she has gained so much weight and I'm no longer attracted to her? Oh, look, man, you guys are probably going to hate me for this one, but unpopular opinion, no, I don't think you'd be the asshole at all. How are you going to be a person who takes care of yourself? You go to the gym, you looking good, you're fit and you're right. And then the moment you lock me down, all of a sudden, everything that made you attractive in the first place, you stop doing. And then you pick up habits that I don't enjoy or I, don't want in my partner. Think about it like this. When you were in the gym and you were thin and looking good, I guarantee you weren't eating candy and fast food all the time and, just being grotesque and lazy the way you are. You weren't doing that when you were single. No, you were in the gym, you were looking sexy, you were doing your thing. And so now that we're in a relationship, I would hope that you would upkeep that because I am upkeeping myself. I'm still going to the gym. I'm still eating right. I'm still taking care of myself and looking attractive for you. Why can't you do the same for me? You know? And so for me, I kind of look at it like, no, I don't think he's the asshole at all, because I would probably do the same thing. And I'd be like, look, man, I am not attracted to you anymore. I was attracted to you then because you took care of yourself. You were in the gym. You were doing your thing, and I saw that. And I saw the value of that. I'm like, that's the type of girl that I want to be with. Girl who takes care of herself, looks good, eats healthy, does the right thing. And now you turn into this fat slob that just wants to sit around and eat candy and fucking fast food all day. And it's like, ew, no thanks. I'm good. I don't want to go from, having this beautiful vision and thought of you, and then now you're this. It's like, nah. You could be comfortable in a relationship and still take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You can be in a relationship and still take care of yourself. You can be in a long-term relationship and still take care of yourself. It's like, I think she looked at it like, cool, this nigga love me and he ain't going nowhere. It's like, nah, bro, break up with her. Let her know, this is unacceptable. Like, I mean, you don't have to, you can talk to her as well. I don't know if you tried to talk to her and be like, hey, yo, you fat as fuck. You need to get back in the gym. And if she's not about it, then yeah, you can leave. Maybe have a conversation with her and try to, let her know, like, hey, look, man, this is unattractive. Like, I don't want to have sex with this. I you know what I mean? Like, I can't look at you the same because I knew what you were. It's like, come on, man. It's the same thing if like a girl got with a dude, and he's out here, buff and Chad Thundercocking it and everything. And then all of a sudden he just gets fat on you and you're just like, really? Like, like he's fat and he's unassertive and, he's all feminine and shit. And you're sitting there just like, this is not the guy that I fell in love with. He was the buff dominant dude. And then all of a sudden we get into a relationship and now he's, all soft and fat, like, come on now. So, you know what I mean? It goes both ways on this shit. So no, I don't think he's an asshole at all. Nah, whew. That's crazy. All right. I never realized how disgusting a lot of men were until I became an adult. All right. I, 25 female. Now, let me start off by saying that I know not all men are disgusting. There are so many really good and kind men out there, and I truly do appreciate the men that I and other women can feel safe with. When I was a teenager, I was very dumb and naive. At the time, I really didn't see anything wrong with an 18-year-old or a 20-something-year-old trying to talk to me, flirting with me, and calling me pretty. I felt so cool because an older guy was talking to me. I remember being 17 and men in their 30s asking me when I was turning 18. I look pretty young for a 25-year-old, and notice when I tell men older than me my age, they seem to lose interest. It's creepy, honestly. Not that long ago, I was talking to a guy that I met at work. He's 36. He was a very good looking guy, very respectful to me in the workplace, etc. But he was very creepy about our age difference and would say things like, you were in elementary school when I was in my late teens or early 20s, but I would have still fucked. Yo, come on, bro. Immediately, I was like, hell no. I stopped talking to him. It's especially more concerning to me because I have a daughter. No one I seen has ever met her, and I never let them meet my kids unless I feel safe around them. They know I have kids, but there's absolutely no way I'm letting randoms meet them. I honestly don't think I even want to date until my kids are adults themselves. I know not all men are like this, but the men I've encountered make me feel like it's literally all men. Oh, man. I mean, a lot of times you kind of feel that way because it's the guys that you're choosing to talk to, And, I just think it comes down to the guys that you choose to talk to, if I'm being honest with you. Because like you said in the beginning, there are dudes out there that are normal, that can have a conversation, that can, be pretty competent in the conversation. Maybe you just need to look for guys maybe a little more around your age. You can still go for an older guy, but go for a guy that's maybe 28, or a guy that's maybe like just a little closer to your age. You're 25, so you could go for 27, 28 kind of guy. Maybe he'll be a little more normal. He's not going to be fucking weird like that. I guess, these older dudes, they just are like at the point where fuck it, I could just say anything and it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Or maybe you're kind of giving the vibe of oh, cool, she likes me already, so I can just kind of say whatever the fuck I want. I have no clue. Or maybe just dudes are weird like that. We've gone over tons of threads where dudes are just absolutely weird as fuck. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say dudes ain't weird, because they are. They're weird as shit. Okay? They're weird. I just think it's the guys that you choose to talk to, you know what I mean? And so that just might be what it is. But try guys that are older, but they're just a little closer to your age. Maybe that'll fix it. Because you ain't lying. You ain't lying when you say dudes are weird. We've gone over many threads of just dudes being just absolute weird and gross and all kinds of stuff. You're thinking my God, is this how it is? Are guys really this weird? And it's they are. It just is what it is. So like I said, try guys that are a little closer to your age. Maybe that'll help out. And then you having a kid, that doesn't really help much either. And I think that's probably why you're going for a lot older guys, just because you feel oh, well, these guys, they're ready to settle down and they don't mind if I have a kid and stuff like that. So that's probably why you're going for the 35 plus guys. And that's understandable, because you can't really find a guy who is going to be 27, 28 and want to date a single mom. I get that, but there might be a guy out there that might. You never know. You got to just talk to a few, catch a little vibes or whatever. You never know. You might find something. All right, on to the next. Am I the asshole for having sex while my roommates were home? Okay. I, a 21 female, was hanging out with my 3 roommates and my boyfriend, 22 male, in our living room watching a movie. Me and my boyfriend were cuddling next to each other, and I started falling asleep on him. So we got up to go to my room so I could take a nap. After we laid down, I was getting ready to sleep, and he began initiating, and I was down, so we did it. We were extremely quiet and kept to ourselves. My roommate, Brianna, 21 female, came up to me a week later and sat me down, telling me how disgusted she and the rest of her roommates were that we got up to have sex. Although we were quiet, they just knew we were fucking. Her words. She kept saying she told me this was a boundary when I first moved in. 8 months ago, when I first moved in, me and my boyfriend had sex in my room, and I'll admit we were a bit too loud, and Brianna told me it made everyone uncomfortable, so we stopped for the first time. We had sex again, and with my roommate's home is what I'm writing now. I explained that we were quiet. She cannot tell me not to have sex with my boyfriend in the room I pay for, especially because I've heard her and her boyfriend have sex multiple times. She told me it's a shared space, and if I want to have sex, it needs to be at nighttime when everyone is in their rooms because it's disgusting. I told her she cannot tell me what to do with my sex life and when to do it with my boyfriend. She began to say that she's grossed out and everyone hates being around me and my boyfriend because we had sex and they're all uncomfortable. So am I the asshole? No! What the fuck? I'd have been I don't give a fuck how you feel. What do you mean? You act like we banged in the bathroom or in the kitchen, or you know what I mean? You act like we did this shit out in the open. No. For one, we did it in the room. 2, we stayed quiet because we knew you guys were out there. 3, I pay for that fucking room. So what I do in that room is my business. Come on, bro. That's kind of crazy. I'm not telling you what you can do in your room because you pay for that motherfucker. So how are you going to tell me what to do in my room when I pay for that motherfucker? Right? Come on. How does that make sense? I don't care if you're uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, then go to your fucking room. Huh? Nah, man, you are not the asshole at all. Nah, man, fuck out of here. You trying to get some mushroom tip by your man, get some mushroom tip by your man. Who cares? Out here talking about, oh, we're uncomfortable. Man, fuck out of here with that bullshit. No, you are not the asshole. Oh, what the? Brianna, you a bitch. All right, on to the next one. All right. We're probably going to do 2 more. My best friend fucked my friends with benefits in the room right across from me. Apparently, I'm jealous and dramatic for cutting her out of my life. All right. I'm going to try to make this painfully long story as short as possible because of the extremely annoyed and needed outsider perspective quick. Okay.
Stop the cap.
They never make it short. I was horny one night and went on AFF. Okay, I don't know what that is. Found a guy and brought him home. We had sex. It was awesome, so we kept seeing each other. One day, after sex, we decided to watch a movie in the living room. I share with my now ex-best friend. Okay. I thought she said ex-boyfriend for me. I was like, whoa, hold up. But nah, it said ex-BFF. I thought it said ex-BF. I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, nigga. But no. Okay. She came out and ended up watching with us. They flirted with each other the entire time and even exchanged numbers. I wasn't mad at her then because I told her we were just friends. I was extremely annoyed with him, though. That man was hoping for a threesome. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was like, I already got this one, so maybe if I flirted up with this one, I could probably have them both at the same time. He was like, I'm gonna put my plan into action. Yeah. Ooh, that man was plotting. Ooh. All right. After he left, I talked to her and told her the truth. She was freaked out and apologized to me. She asked me many times if I wanted to be with him. In retrospect, I should have seen this as a sign, and I said no because, well, look at how he is. Who would want to be with a fuckboy? I did make it clear that I didn't want to share him with her, though, which I don't think is unreasonable. She said she understood and even apologized again. But you aren't dating, so who cares? You can't be mad. She even asked, she was like, well, I mean, do you want to date the guy? And she was like, ew, no, why would I want to be with him like that? And she's like, okay, say less. Then that means homeboy is on the market. What do you mean? He ain't cheating on you. Like, come on, bro. That's stupid. That's stupid. Anyway, yada, yada, yada. A mere week later, from the title what happened. I don't even want to go into that horrific day. Just know that I am permanently out of that apartment and she is blocked from every platform imaginable. I have gotten mostly support, but some people seem to be under the belief that I overreacted and should just not care because I wasn't with him. Jealousy and dramatic are the words they use for me. It's the disrespect and utter lack of regard that got me. Apparently, she's extremely depressed about losing me, but I don't see what she thought would happen. I figure you guys can give me an objective view on this because it's bothering me. Am I crazy? Yeah, you're a little crazy. You are. Now, look, man, if you were pursuing a relationship with this guy and then she went and did what she did, 100%, I'd have been like, get up out of there, girl. As fast as possible. Run. But you weren't trying to date homeboy. So again, he's on the market. He's free. He can have sex with whoever he wants. You don't have that man tied down. You can't sit there and be like, I don't want to share him, but I don't want to date him. That sounds stupid as fuck. Like, it makes no sense. Like, what if a guy told you that, oh, I don't want to share you with nobody, but I don't want to date you? You would look at that man like, what? We're not together. I could be with other guys if I want to. You'd look at that man like he's the stupidest dude on planet Earth. So, yes, him smashing your friend, and honestly, I don't think your friend did anything wrong. I mean, yes, she sat there and lied to you. I get that. She did lie to you and sat there and was just like, okay, I won't have sex with him. I won't do anything with him. And then she ends up doing that. I get that. But can you blame her? She probably justified it to herself like, that bitch ain't dating him. She doesn't even like him like that. So why am I holding back myself from wanting to fuck him? Like, nah, man, hey, fuck that girl. So I can understand why you guys aren't friends anymore, because she did kind of stab you in the back a little bit. I get that. But, I mean, you sitting there saying you don't want to share him, and then you're mad because he was flirting with homegirl and they exchanged numbers. Just the fact that they were flirting and exchanged numbers, and then she asked you, hey, are you trying to date him? You should have put the puzzle pieces together and knew that they were going to do this. Did you really sit there and expect her to be like, oh, nah, I'm definitely not going to sleep with the guy that I was flirting with, and I asked you if you were going to be with him, so that way just, I can make my move or whatever. Like, dude, the writing was on the wall, if I'm being honest with you. You just want people to sympathize with you and tell you that you're right when you are wrong as fuck. You are wrong as fuck, and you know you're wrong. Man, over here talking about, I wouldn't say you're jealous or dramatic. I would just say that you're probably a little delusional, for thinking that a guy can just be a friends with benefits, but he ain't gonna go sleep with other girls. Like, and he's a fuck boy. Like, come on, man. Like, how obvious does this need to be for you? You know he's a fuck boy. You saw them flirting. They exchanged numbers. Homegirl asked if you trying to pursue him or not. You clearly said, ew, he's disgusting and he's a fuckboy. Why would I ever want to be with him? But then you sat there and said, but I don't want to share him, which is dumb. Of course, all roads are leading to them smashing. And then I guarantee you homeboy was plotting and planning. And he was like, I'm going to try to have both of them. Like, come on, man. Writing was on the wall for you, girl. The fuck out of here. Yeah, you crazy. You crazy as hell. All right, last one. Married with kid, addicted to porn/hentai. Okay. I'm a 26 male with a wife of 4 years and a 1-year-old son. I love my wife to death, but I have gotten in trouble sexting others behind her back. Uh-oh. At first, I would go to Discord RP groups and send hentai acting like I'm a girl for just attention. The fuck? After the first time, I created a Twitter account and did the same thing and got a big following. I got caught a second. I started a Reddit to find friends, but I always end up in the NSFW. This is my NSFW account. I would do this work also, getting in trouble for being on my phone, pleasuring myself at work in the bathroom. Nigga!
Bruh.
Why are you beating your meat at work, bro? God damn. I'm also very addicted to porn and hentai. On my bad days, I can nut 3 to 4 in one day.
Bruh.
Oh my God, this man said I can nut 3 to 4 in one day.
What did he say?
Bro, you crazy. And she doesn't like that I masturbate to both of them. My sex life isn't bad per se. I get it at least 9 times a month, depending on if I have enough money to buy a 3-pack of condoms. It's an addiction, and I don't know what to do. It might ruin my relationship because now she brings it up at least 3 times a week. I'd go to the bathroom and browse NSFW Reddit, and I'd come back and hear you texting your hoes. I would get therapy, but it's way too expensive, and I'm the only source of income. Oh, bro, you need to get off the fucking internet. That's what you need to do. What you need to do, this is probably the best way. Like, if you really want to change, this is the best way to do it. You get a lock on your phone. It's like a thing where, a password has to be put in order for you to go to certain websites. You let your wife create that password for you, so you don't know what that password is. And whenever you try to go to P-Hub, or whenever you try to go to this or that, or whatever the case may be, a password needs to be put in to your phone. And you don't know that password, and the only person that knows that password is your wife. And that is going to put you in a position where it will force you to, for one, not be able to look at that stuff, whether you're at work, whether you're out and about, whether you're at home. It don't matter. That password is on your phone, and you can't get into it unless your wife gives you access to that, okay? That's the best way to take the first step without therapy and all that kind of stuff. That's the first step. Why? Because you are locking yourself off and you have an accountability buddy. So because when you out here getting the heebie-jeebies and you're getting the hives and you're like, oh my God, I gotta beat my meat, guess who you gotta ask in order to do that? You gotta ask your wife. And she ain't gonna be happy that you asking. And you're gonna probably be embarrassed and you're probably gonna look stupid doing it. So that would be the first step you could take to get rid of this porn addiction. The second way to do it is to simply get a fucking hobby, bro. Start involving yourself in some things. Maybe take your girl out a little more. Maybe spend a little more time with her. But for the most part, man, get a fucking physical hobby. Idle hands do the devil's work, all right? Get a hobby. I don't care what it is. Get a fucking hobby, bro. If you're the type of guy that likes to play video games, play video games, maybe start streaming. That's like the easiest thing to get into now. I mean, shit. There are literally packs designed where you can like buy something and it gives you like the microphone, the interface, all that stuff. You could do that. You can stream video games. If you're the type of person you enjoy more physical things, man, try to get into like pottery, try to get into, building stuff, maybe build computers, maybe build, I don't know, woodworking, doing stuff with your hands. Like, get busy, bro. Get busy. Fill your day out, or hell, get in the gym. That's another thing. Do that. Work out. Start working out. Those two things right there they're gonna get you off that addiction quick, because for one, you're locking yourself off, and the only way to do it is ask your wife, and she ain't gonna give you that password. And then keep them hands busy, bro. Keep them hands busy. It's ridiculous. You niggas out there need some fucking
Stop it. Get some help.
You need some help. You need Jesus. That's what you really need. But I digress. You need to get a fucking hobby. You need to get a hobby, man. You need to be doing something with them hands, instead of touching your dick all day. Like, do something. Do something. Get into a hobby, all right? Golly, man. Crazy. You guys out here. Woo. God damn. That's terrible. That is terrible. All right, but that's it. That's going to be it for me today, man. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Appreciate you guys. Again, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get on the Patreon, man, and get that exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to the show. And TikTok, Instagram for the clips. If you're an audio listener, go ahead and rate that podcast. Please keep downloading. I appreciate all of the support. Love you guys so much. If you want to help more on the free 99 side of things, head over to YouTube, youtube.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Am I the Asshole Podcast, all one word. Or go to the link tree and click on the YouTube, subscribe there. Even if you don't watch on the YouTube, subscribing helps a lot, man. Appreciate you guys. Love you, and peace.